Tonight's case dives into one of the most heated and controversial debates in modern Britain: the arrival of migrants by boat, the housing crisis, and the clash between compassion and security. On one side, we have stories of desperation and survival, people risking everything for a chance at life. On the other, fears of overcrowding, economic strain, and even national security concerns. And trust me, this courtroom-style clash doesn't hold back. Tempers flare, contradictions explode, and by the end, you'll be left asking yourself, who's really in the wrong here?
So they come over on the boat, and then what happens is they get put into the hotel, and then once they've been processed,
pass asylum, get resided,
they have nowhere to go, so they go into the tents.
Unless if they've got family, they're able to go stay with family. But the guy told us before, basically, while the council are waiting to house them, they're here. But as we know, there's a blimmin' housing crisis, and
no, totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree.
What's your opinion on this?
Oh, it's wrong.
Right. Good
It's
stuff.
wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, people are trying to live, full stop. Like they're trying to find a way forwards in their lives.
Yeah.
We all have a right to live.
Yeah.
I don't know what is this a statement or is this actually people living here?
They're actually living here.
There's nobody here though.
No, they are all in the tents and stuff like that. There's a lot
A few of them have
yeah.
been a bit aggressive towards us.
Because what's your purpose?
To be honest with you, I do film the hotels and that, but personally, I think when you get to speak to the migrants, it humanises them a lot. And I get attacked by the left a lot for filming it. But if anything, I've had a couple of interviews where I personally think it helps the left's argument with it more because it humanises the migrants. And I got a lot of good comments. I got people coming in going, "Oh, I always thought that I didn't really know what they're about, but I feel like this guy here."
It gets powerful because humanizing migrants is often the very thing missing from mainstream coverage. Notice how the speaker points out that talking to people face-to-face changes perceptions. Think about it. Have you ever changed your mind after actually meeting someone you'd only read about in the headlines? The media thrives on dehumanization, painting entire groups with one brushstroke. But in reality, each person in those tents has a story, a family, a reason they risked it all. And that's where this debate begins to shift from statistics to human faces.
This guy here, he was a refugee, deserves to come here, you know, and I wouldn't have had that thought process through the videos that I've popped. But then there's also the ones where the migrants are a bit aggressive and it's a bit worrying. It's just a mixed bag with
hard,
it.
Isn't it?
It's hard, yeah.
Because there's very little communication.
Yeah, and the cloak and dagger side don't help.
This type of communication,
yeah.
one-on-one, you know, that's missing often from many of these arguments.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so cloak and dagger with it as well. The way they hide it away. You know, if they were just a bit more open and more.
They mediaise it and make it look like it's horrible, but it ain't.
Yeah.
Like they're coming for a purpose. They're desperate. Everyone knows that. But
there is that.
Media makes it up.
The only
thing
thing
you should be able to like stay in the tents here.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have somewhere to live.
Yeah. I think the
it's not very dignified. I mean, if we were all obliged to live like this, simply because we're in a different country,
we've got the same stuff in Paris. We live in Paris, they've got the same stuff, but they're all hidden underneath the Cité des Arts.
Yeah, they push them out to like central areas and they don't allow
and they hide them from like
to live nearby
areas that people go and look at.
So it's more kept separate sort of thing, so it doesn't interfere with the public, Do you think the boat should be stopped coming in, or do you reckon they're fine?
No.
You think they should keep coming in?
Send a fucking ferry and go and drag them over for free, so that way you get rid of the fucking terrorists. Not the terrorists, the gangsters who were charging them $5,000 a go to get across.
This moment is critical. Do you see the dilemma? If governments close borders, smugglers profit. If they open borders, critics argue it invites chaos. And right in the middle are desperate people, trapped between predatory gangs and bureaucratic red tape. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of these migrants don't even know who arranged their journey. Imagine paying your life savings to an anonymous figure, stepping into a crowded dinghy, and hoping you'll make it to safety. Would you take that risk? Or would you wait behind, knowing that waiting could mean never surviving at all?
So would you be in favour of open borders or not really?
I've always been in favour of that.
Oh really?
Well, we live in Europe, so yeah.
Oh yeah, so everything's open over there, isn't
I'm Irish, so it makes sense to me.
It makes no sense. You've got all these gangsters who are charging them to get on a dodgy boat, overcrowding it. And
do you think it's just gangsters though?
Do you think it's dangerous?
We know it is.
Well, I've had a few migrants that have said some things where they don't know who's got them over here, and I find that when they say that very interesting. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is the case. I just find it confusing when I say, "Well, how have you got here?" And a few migrants go, "I've had a few migrants literally say, I don't know who's paid to help me get here."
About 9 days ago, got into a hotel in Secretary.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
How do you find this out?
Exactly. I think there's a lot more.
Like, who's going to answer the question?
Do you think
I don't think we we're ever going to be. I don't think we're ever going to be enough of high up above the board to even really find out, and they'll hide it all the time.
But
I think they do. And
say, for example, if people come in,
do you not think there's a little bit? What about the security concern sides of it? Because obviously some of them could be the most wonderful people in the world, but you could sneak people in that are not so. If you know what I'm saying, there is that element.
I understand.
Well, for example,
you know
obviously
what?
that's a terrible thing.
There's good and bad eggs in every group.
Oh yeah, terrible.
No matter which group you're talking about, no matter which country you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've lived abroad in different
I can't believe they haven't released the list though. But
you can find
the point that I would put to you,
every strata.
say for example,
every single It's not because there are people coming from elsewhere that don't know our
for example,
culture, or we don't know their culture, that they're necessarily questionable.
Fine. Should we still take
I think it needs to be understood that communication's really bad.
Yeah.
We don't know what these people, where they've come from, why they're here, how come they're here. You know, what are the decades of influences that have pushed them into this situation?
Yeah, I get
we don't know that.
I get that.
None of us know that. We've never lived.
So on that human side, what you're talking about, I completely agree with you. But what about on the take away all of the humanness of it, that side of it? No.
I'm a human.
No, what I'm saying is though,
But the media will.
is there any point do you think that it would be could be economically detrimental to us the amount that are coming at a fast pace, or do you reckon it'd be?
What are the real estimates of amounts?
Well, the numbers are high for immigration in the last few years. I'm not against immigration. I think that just controlling it a bit better. My personal opinion is legal migration is the issue because it's so high numbers, and maybe we need to look at. Because I feel like because the legal migration numbers on top of the illegal migration numbers, the actual genuine refugees we should be helping, their cause is being diluted to a lot of people because
it's a complicated issue.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think that it's easy to just put it down to sound bites.
Yeah,
I think it's really complicated, and most people don't grasp every single aspect, which is normal because we're not in the know.
Yeah.
What we as individuals and as a society, we're fed information via media. We are.
No, that just mainstream a day.
I mean, you're more or less the same generation as me. You know, we've been brought up trusting in our media, and now we don't. Why? Because we've understood that a lot of it is bullshit.
Yeah, they'll tell you what they want you to hear.
They will form your brain, and they will teach you what they need you to understand, so that they can push
it would be good to let
all of us, society, in one direction or another.
We would not.
Today it's migrants, tomorrow it'll be what?
Yeah.
And in 10 years time, what else is it going to be? It's always going to be something. I'm Irish. I know what it's like to be stopped coming across the border into the UK. I was stopped as a young person.
Yeah.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
I was pulled out and searched. Look at me, dude. Am I a threat?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a fad. It's a fucking, anyway. Yeah.
It's a very complicated situation.
It's always complicated, so it should never be simplified. We should never point fingers because you do not know what the situations are. You'll never know. None of us. You just said it yourself. We'll never know. You know?
Yeah. It's just run so deep.
I think it's unfortunate for the people who I don't know if there's really anybody here. I've never seen one person step out of the tent and sit up and stand. Whether the people are here. Can you put your phone? I don't mind talking to you. I just don't like being filmed all the
What do you
time.
think about the legal age being lowered to 16?
Legal age of what?
Voting. Just on through Parliament.
They just announced with the you can vote from 16. I think it's a good idea.
Why?
Because 16-year-olds should have a voice. I mean, you have to start working if you don't go to uni or whatever. You have to start work. If you're working, if you're doing an apprenticeship in a trade, why you don't have a voice?
Do you think maturity? Do you think that Starmer's just done that because he realises that most under 18 will vote Labour?
Absolutely.
Do you vote?
Yeah, but would they vote
not
for
anymore.
him?
He's a liar.
That's just,
I'm going to vote for Corbyn's new party. Because someone with a bit of moral.
See, my thing with it is I think the far left, the more down the harder side of the left and the right parties will just never get in. They're never going to get in.
Look,
you have to moderate.
Look
If
at
there was a party
the British
that had everything
society
you loved
today.
policy-wise,
I mean,
but morality
it's a
you
mix.
didn't really like it.
It's a mishmash of everyone. which is normal.
Yeah.
Britain,
Do you see what I mean? Like that's the
the
dilemma.
empire,
I think a lot of people
ex-empire,
have at the moment,
brought a
is finding
bunch of
party
people
that,
in.
like,
Yeah, I get
and
that.
here we are. I mean, I don't live here. I don't live here. But that's what I believe.
I'll give you an example.
I think a lot of people are frustrated on the Brit side because I've been called a racist for so long, and I like to think I'm a nice person. It's like they're just like they turned it into a buzzword, and it's I think that's, for me, that's dangerous. And sometimes I'm guessing you've got like quite left-leaning views on things, right? And maybe
I believe in humanity.
yeah, and I think
I don't think that's left-leaning.
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's a normal
I'm just going on what the general pop at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm not into
No. But I get called far right because I film protests and stuff, but I don't scream free Palestine because my stance on Palestine and Israel is.
I scream free Palestine.
My stance on it is I just hate war. I'm very much a pacifist. I don't want any innocent life dying.
Totally agree with
And
you.
for every, I could say Palestine, but then I feel inside myself personally, I feel a little bit of guilt towards any lives that have lost that civilians on the other side. I just don't want to pick a side on guilt.
So many people
I get it.
dying.
I know.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I
Who's
agree with
pushing
that.
us into war? That's the question that needs to be
Oh, I think
asked.
Starmer definitely.
Where's the money? Follow the money first.
Yeah.
Always follow the money first. Ask your moral questions if you want, but always follow the money. You will find a lot of information if you follow the money.
Yeah, always been the case. Always will be the
And
case.
so why are we banging, on at these people who have nothing, It's not their fault. It's not their fault. I am
Personally, I
absolutely
think
convinced about this.
I think I think we fought the wars and our grandfathers would want the refugees to be protected, but I think we need to take a serious hard look at just the numbers at the high level. But just at the minute, because the infrastructure for me is a problem. I'm from Coventry, the rent prices and that, it is getting scary on that sense.
I know, I understand what you're saying because we're having the same problem in my country.
Yeah, and it's
that, like, but that's not.
It's not their fault.
Create this.
I know, I get you.
Okay, just shut the page there. Look at the levels of society. Where's the money?
It's at the top.
Who made that
But
money?
then the same,
and on whose back?
but the
did they
same,
make
the
that
same
money?
billionaires benefit the most from mass migration. It's such
They're
a bad
using
circle,
this.
yeah.
They're using this as an excuse to turn us against these people.
Yeah, but they also do benefit massively if you're rich from massive migration because you keep wages down, you put property prices up. Yeah, so it's like a vicious circle in a sense. In my eyes.
Think about it though. If, like back in the day, not in my lifetime, but in my parents' lifetime, it was no blacks, no dogs, no Irish.
Mad that.
I'm Irish.
Children are being killed.
Just step into my shoes for 1 second and think about that.
I get that.
I mean, already it's fucking racist because you're saying no blacks, but then you put like the Irish below the dogs, okay? That's in your country. This country. And this is in a lifetime. My parents lived this when they moved here as young people trying to make a way,
But when I was growing up and I was, say, I was 14, 15, 16, right, I feel like racism would improve because my black friends, I'll say it, I used to call him the N-word, he'd call me the N-word, but it was never in a racist, it was a term of endearment. We were hip-hop fans. Yeah, but back then though, he'd come up to me going, we'd just say it to each other without even thinking of racism. We used to use the word half-caste and not even think about it, and then all of a sudden we were all racist, even my black mates were like,
Who made that happen?
yeah, we were like,
It's not the black people. It's not the black
but I
people.
think when you keep, it's not. It's everyone being offended for others. But when you keep doing that, and I think that's caused it to rise more than anything.
If the people in the money are making you and I down here at the bottom level turn against these people at the bottom level, isn't that just the same thing? Somebody's manipulating us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Who's in the manipulating position? It's not you and it's not me. It's them. Those people who have that.
Yeah.
It's like, I believe personally that politicians are run by this.
Oh yeah, of course
That's
they are.
absolutely what I believe. Either side, black or white, red or blue, it's all the same. So I would take a politician's word, left or right, I would take a politician's point of view on this particular subject, many more, but I'm talking about this one with an absolute pinch of salt, because somebody's creaming off this.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's not you, and it's not me, and it's definitely not.
Definitely Serco, I know that much.
It's not them.
Yeah, no, they're making a fortune, yeah. Yeah.
I have a lot of hearts for people who have been put into situations of being refugees, wherever they come from, and I understand.
You're not concerned about some of the stats coming out though with the crimes at the minute.
I understand the crime.
I think they need some education, especially with the treatment of women's side of it from certain nations. I think that's important.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm all about a humanist approach, you know. Like, my thing is, if I was working, we were just talking about this earlier on, if I was working for like a hardline Muslim company, and they said, look, I'm sorry, but you know, we've just made a new policy, and you have to wear like a head cover of whatever sort, you know, anything to cover my hair. And I'd like go, that's new company policy in our company. I would go to myself, do I want to do this? Yes or no? Am I prepared to lose my job? Yes or no? Do I want to move on now? Yes or no? It's up to me as an individual to decide.
What would you do in that situation?
It depends on whether I love my job or not. I wouldn't give a shit, to be honest. I don't care about covering my hair.
Yeah.
I honestly don't, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't walk into my company wearing a bikini.
Yeah, I get that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But if it was company policy, just like if I went to live in Saudi Arabia, if I was out and about, I would pay attention to.
Yeah, but that's when you're abiding by their culture in their land.
Yes.
But for them to come here and make you, that would be different in my eyes.
That's why I agree with you on the law of the land. And why we have to have a clear, conscious law as to why we put forward these points to men and women, you know. I mean, I think it's necessary, and I think people coming here should understand that. They should be made aware that you can't just like get slated here. You can just like make everything Sharia law. That I don't understand, and I would never agree with.
Because personally, for me, inside some sects of Islam, the stricter sides of countries, my concerns towards the treatment of women is concerning. And I think it is a very adult conversation that needs to be had. But this is the problem. It's racist in elements and areas if you talk about it. But
I know, but you can't cherry pick them.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I went on a bit of a discovery trip abroad to understand better Muslim culture because I don't know anything about this, and I am biased, you know. I look at me, you know, I'm Irish. I have had no interaction. So I went away, I went to Morocco, and I sat down and spoke with people, and I asked them questions. I said, can I ask you questions about your religion which you might find a little difficult? Yes or no? Yeah. And we had these discussions and conversations, and it opened up my eyes to the fact that I know so little about these people that have a beautiful culture and a lovely approach to the way they have a community together. It's not mine, but it's theirs, and I needed to understand that my viewpoint was biased. I needed to open up my mind so I could understand what I like and don't like about it. I hate this attitude of just throwing the baby out with the damn bathwater, you know. I think people just do that so quickly.
Well, yeah, because I've obviously I think with the Islam, it's the cultural in Islam compared to what part of the world is how strict it is. I think we have to have concerns in different areas of it. Like
we should have with goddamn Scientologists.
Oh yeah, well, don't worry. My friend covered the Scientology place, and when he turned up at the Scientology place, you won't believe what he found: a kid locked in a cupboard.
Okay, what are we talking about here? I mean, you know, let's look at the states with fucking Epstein files. You know? Look, there's good and bad.
Yeah.
There's good and bad everywhere. I just don't hate I hate the fact that people who have spent a lot of energy, personal energy and money to try and save their lives.
It's an army base.
And there it is, the boiling point of this entire debate. Notice how the tone suddenly shifts from empathy and economics to raw anger and security fears. This is where national identity collides with national security. Some see migrants as victims of war and poverty. Others as potential threats who cross lines that should never be crossed. But here's the million-pound question. Can both be true at once? Can we hold compassion for those fleeing danger while still protecting our own borders? Or does one always cancel out the other?
Sorry. Okay.
Have a good day, lovely. Thank you very much for the conversation. It's great, that was. Brilliant.
People for breaking into an army base. What a twat.
No, they should never shoot people.
If they broke into an army base, of course they should.
Shoot the fucking guards. You should have stopped them there.
I had a great conversation. I don't know what happened there. She was great. We had a great left and right back and forth. That was a great. I had a great debate with her.
Because he said Palestine action shouldn't be. I said they broke into an RAF base. And I said if I had it my way, if they stepped foot on an army base, I'd shoot them.
And a lot of places in the world, they got banned. Should be grateful. They wouldn't be alive. They'd be dead in an instant. Yeah. They are lucky they're in this country and not somewhere else. They'd be all locked up for treason and locked in a fucking. They wouldn't get out. Like, I think he was the biggest snowflake out of the pair of them, you know, because she was all right. Because I was saying some hard things to her, and she was going, "Oh yeah."
Did you see how mad he got when I was recording, and then his missus was absolutely chill with it?
No, she weren't with me. I don't think she realised I was filming.
Do you see what happens here? You know, if you don't agree with their opinion, did you see how we went then? When you say something that offends them.
He disagrees with murder. And the thing is, if they're broken into an army base, like...
What Cosby's trying to say is, probably should have said it a better way, if you did that in any other place in the world, they should be lucky they're in this country because they'd all be dead or in prison for treason.
Yeah. This guy's a twat.
That was funny though, great medicine. But I got a great interview with her.
Probably a big interview. I didn't ruin it, did I?
Well, I'll just use that as TikTok footage, you know.
Yeah, but it made it explosive at the end, bro, yeah.
I'm using that end bit.
That really adds to it, because you can put that at the beginning, can't you? And so like, what's coming up?
Yeah.
Just watch the interview, and when he loses his shit at the end, it proves a point that when they don't hear something they don't like, but the woman was really open to talking. I had a great, wait to see what I had a conversation with her about.
I'm assuming you're disagreeing there.
So what do we take away from this fiery courtroom-style exchange? On one hand, you hear the humanity, the need to protect refugees, to acknowledge their suffering, and to see them not as statistics, but as people. On the other hand, you hear the fear, the strain on housing, jobs, and the ever-present worry of national security. At the end of the day, it's a balancing act, one that societies across Europe continue to wrestle with. But now we want to hear from you. Do you believe compassion should outweigh caution? Or do strict border protections come first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this case as shocking and eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share this breakdown with a friend, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom commentary every week.